You can be close to God and still be far from his heart. That sentence should honestly scare us a little bit because it describes a version of faith that looks healthy on the outside. It shows up and stays put. It does what's expected, and yet something underneath it quietly calcifies. Jesus tells a story in Luke chapter 15 about a son who never leaves home. He works the fields, he obeys, he carries responsibility, he does everything right. And when his younger brother returns after burning everything down, the older brother refuses to come and join the celebration. Not because he hates his father, but because he believes his faithfulness should have earned him something more. That's the moment that matters. The older brother doesn't argue theology. He doesn't reject relationship. He doesn't question whether the father exists. No, he questions the fairness of grace. He measures his worth by proximity, by effort, and by comparison. I stayed. I worked. I didn't embarrass you. And now this? What he reveals is honestly unsettling. Faithfulness, when left unchecked, can turn into leverage, and we begin to view obedience as currency. Staying close becomes a quiet way of keeping score, and when grace shows up where we don't think it belongs, something in us tightens. The older brother never wanted a relationship. He wanted recognition. He wanted assurance that his way of living made him more deserving, and proximity to him felt like proof. Effort felt like security, and comparison sealed the deal. At least I'm not like my wasteful younger brother. But none of these things actually changed him. They just protected him from examining his own heart. And that's the danger. You can live near God long enough to stop being curious about him. You can do all of the right things for so long that you forget why you're doing them. And then slowly, faith becomes about staying in place instead of being transformed. The father's response is quiet and devastating. He doesn't argue. He doesn't defend himself. He simply says, everything I have is already yours. In other words, you were never working toward belonging. You were working from it. You just didn't trust that it was true. So here's the question worth asking today. Where has being near God replaced letting him examine and transform you? Where has faithfulness become a way to avoid honest self-examination? Staying close is not the same as being changed. Thanks for spending a few minutes before the noise with me today. And don't forget, God isn't impressed by how near you stay. He wants your heart, not your resume. He loves you more deeply than you could possibly imagine. We'll see you tomorrow.